We are here in Mendenhall, England, and Chaplain, if you'd introduce yourself and tell us where you're assigned, that'd be great.
I'm Chaplain Captain John Richardson. I'm assigned here at the 352nd Special Operations Wing in Mildenhall, England.
Why did you decide to become a chaplain?
That's a great question. When I was 18 years old, felt called into the ministry. And before I felt called in the ministry, I'd wanted to join the Air Force. And I was ready to sign on the dotted line, ready to join, and then God directed my path in another way. So I went to Bible college, and it was still in the back of my mind, I'd like to do chaplaincy someday. Would like to go into the Air Force. Time continues to go by, and I knew that there was a lot of preparations that needed to be made, and God brought a retired chaplain into my path and helped give me some direction and some mentorship when I was still in college. Then I went and served in a church and still felt I want to go into the chaplaincy. And more time passes, went to seminary, got my education out of the way. And during that time when I was getting my seminary education, interestingly enough, God sends me to Chaplain, Kentucky. I felt called to be a chaplain, and God sends me to Chaplain, Kentucky to be the pastor there. And pastored there for 6 years up until the point where I finally was able to pursue the goal of becoming an active duty Air Force chaplain. And so from the time I first thought about becoming a chaplain to the time I came active duty was 13 years.
Wow.
So.
Good. Where else have you been assigned?
My first assignment was Eglin Air Force Base in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, right along the Emerald Coast. Beautiful, beautiful area. I spent 3 years at that assignment, and it was a memorable 3 years. I was able to serve an operations group, a maintenance group, civil engineers, and a med group. Had fantastic ministry in all of those areas of Eglin Air Force Base. I was also able to be the gospel service pastor for about a year and a half of my time there, and it was a fantastic opportunity to minister in an environment that was a little different than I'd been raised. And the amazing thing about that experience was it doesn't matter your race, your background, where you've been raised, how much money you make, or what rank you are. The gospel unites all of us. And so incredibly formative and moving part of my time there at Eglin. And Eglin was a fantastic base for me, had great leadership and mentorship, and we'll remember it fondly.
Great. So what are your normal duties here?
Here at the 352nd Special Operations Wing, I am the only chaplain assigned, and so for the wing. So I have purview over the chapel plan for our entire wing. And so a day in my life will include counseling, marriage counseling, individual counseling. It will include planning for retreats. We do regular marriage retreats. We do family retreats. We'll do resilience days. And so we provide some fantastic opportunities for families to reconnect. And so the people that I serve here are out the door more than half the year. And so that time away from family, time away from your spouse, makes it incredibly challenging to retain those family relationships. And so that's one of our big emphasis points as I continue to serve the 352nd. I also get opportunities to fly on the aircraft and to get out and visit my people on a daily basis. And so it's a privilege to serve the Special Operations Wing, and we have some fantastic people doing some amazing work to make the mission happen every day here. So.
Great. You've covered a couple of things that make your time and your duties here unique, but is there anything you'd like to add about the uniqueness of this particular billet?
Yeah, the special operations, we have to be ready any time of the day or night to go and make the mission happen. So we can receive short notice taskers, and that creates a certain upheaval in a person's life and family, and being able to respond as a chaplain in those types of situations where your spouse is here one moment and they're gone the next day, and provide care in those times, and the difficulties those mission required moments create in a person's life and their family. I'm here to provide a listening ear. I'm here to provide confidential counseling, and to stand alongside not only the member, the active duty member, but also the family in those moments. And as they support the Constitution, the United States of America, it's a real privilege on my side to support their First Amendment rights, to make sure that they have what they need to practice their religion and their faith. And what I've noticed is that when I can come alongside them and support their faith, that they are much more likely to be resilient and to stand strong. And it's neat to see those folks every day conducting the mission, but also staying strong in their personal and their faith as well.
Great, great. Well, thanks. Appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you, sir.